And please escort Dr. Atashi Goswami on stage. Welcome, Dr. Atashi Goswami. I'd like to invite on stage Vice President 2, Dr. Praveen Arora on stage, and our past President Ramesh Patel. Please join us. I think with a short notice, we had a discussion with Dr. Aravind Chinchure, who is of course CEO of this point of matters. So he brought in this, initiative across India, and it was done in tier one cities so far, in metros basically. So Dr. Aravind said, we should get inputs from tier two city as well. That's a very important. A lot of MSMEs are in tier two cities, and so this is more of an open kind of interaction. They share their experience about the framework thus far, what has happened, and we will have a lot of interaction among the delegates here. We invited only the few selected delegates here, just to make sure that we have relevant interactions during this session. Now I'd like to welcome, I'd like to invite Dr. S.P. Sosimarji to welcome address. Was it welcome address?
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you joining us today for the Education Circle Workshop, Community, the Culture of Education to Enterprise. It is with a great pleasure and excellent that we gather here today to embark on a journey of exploration, discovery, and transformation in the realm of innovation within MSME. Today we are privileged to have the remarkable individual Dr. Praveen Arora, Dr. Pradosh Nath, Dr. Aravind Chinchure joining us to share their empowering experience and insights. I extended warm welcome to Dr. Praveen Arora. He is a visionary leader who has dedicated his career to enabling education with MSME. I welcome Dr. Pradosh Nath, Director, Center for Knowledge, Ideas and Development Studies, and an estimated expert in education, research and development for MSMEs. And I welcome Dr. Aravind Chinchure, a seasoned physicist and education strategist. I welcome NCS, DC, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India for supporting us, and I also welcome Dr. E.M. Goswami, Research Coordinator, Center for Knowledge, Ideas and Development Studies. And I also welcome our past President Ramesh Patel and office bearers and Cecilia Sector Program Committee Chairman. Together, these distinguished speakers are ready to encourage, inform and enable us to adopt an innovation culture within our business. Their insight, expertise and inventive skills will be surely spark of our creativity. We have to take advantage of this myriad chances that lie ahead. Once again, welcome you all to the Innovation Circle Workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sosimarji. It's with a great honor now I introduce our distinguished speakers for today who have great accomplishment in the area of science, technology and innovation at a national level. Our first speaker is Dr. Pradosh Nath. Dr. Pradosh Nath is the Director of the Center for Knowledge, Ideas and Development Studies, KNIDS, and brings in extensive experience from his tenure as the Chief Scientist at CSIR, National Institute of Science, Technology, Development Studies. Uh, he's, he has researched and developed the Innovation Circle model, the approach for MSMEs to be a Atmanirbhar enterprise. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Pradosh Nath. And I request President Consumer Ji and the office bearers to felicitate Dr. Pradosh Nath. Thank you, President Joseph. Next, we have Dr. Praveen Arora. Dr. Arora holds a senior position within the Department of Science and Technology, has been instrumental in advancing science and technology, technology initiatives in India. He is a visionary behind the concept of embedding innovation within the MSME through the Innovation Circle approach. Let's welcome Dr. Praveen Arora on stage. And now I request Vice President Sandeep Desai to felicitate Dr. Praveen Arora along with office bearers. We also have with us Dr. Atashi Goswami. She is a research coordinator at the Center of Knowledge, Ideas and Development Studies, and also the principal investigator for this innovation project throughout India. She has been handholding this project for quite many years. Welcome, Dr. Atashi Goswami. And now I request Secretary Palaga sir to felicitate Dr. Goswami along with office bearers, please. Thank you, Bhajaji. We also had Dr. J.S. Junaid coming from Delhi, but unfortunately because of some family medical emergency, he has to quit from the airport to back to his home. He is actually chairman Global Collection Services Private Limited. We had a session, but we will miss this session today. We have the third speaker, Dr. Aravind Chinchure, is going to join us online at the later stage in the agenda. He also couldn't make it, but he's going to join us online. I would quickly introduce Dr. Aravind Chinchure. Dr. Aravind Chinchure holds a PhD in physics and has a rich background spanning R&D, technology, innovation, and policy. He is author of a groundbreaking book, The New Age Organization, which talks about Industry 4.0, and has served as the international expert in IP and innovation for the World Bank. So he will join us online later this year. So, thank you so much, all the delegates on stage. I would request you to please take the seat in the front, so we'll have the technical sessions going forward. Thank you. I think during the initial warm-up networking that happened in the morning, we had a lot of interaction among the delegates here, and they were discussing their own innovation business model, especially from Ballari, the apparel industry. It's quite interesting. We'll do opportunity for all of you to share your own, quick 5 minutes of your own innovation model, existing model, so that we can take this forward. So this event is not we don't want this to be a event as such. We want this to be an ongoing process of innovation model happening in Tier 2 cities. We would seek Dr. Pradosh Nath, Arora and Goswami's support here, so we can build at least 10 case studies that can be replicated by themselves later on. So that we want this continue as a program, not necessarily as an event as such. So with that in mind, I think I would like to invite Dr. Goswami to take it forward on the technical sessions on the introduction of this particular. Dr. Praveen Arora ji on the briefing about the innovation sector. Thank you.
Can you put up the presentation? One, I will tell you about the innovation sector. Yeah. Just come. Just skip to next. Yeah. I think it's fine.
So good morning. So distinguished delegates and participants from the industry. So it gives me immense pleasure and honor to welcome you all on behalf of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, to this Dr. J.S. Juneja, who incidentally, because of some family urgency and emergency, is not able to participate today. But nevertheless, and I am wholeheartedly thanking, first of all, the PhD or the Chamber of Commerce, Karnataka Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Hubli, for agreeing to host this event, and in particularly Shri SP Shanu Srimat, President KCC&I, Dr. Shashi Shetty, who is agreed to really come forward to chair and handled us, explain that you see in literature and also in the global reports that innovation is now coming up. If you look at a macro level across the nations, so innovation is directly linked with your GDP per capita, or what I could say, the development of the nation. So more innovative countries have more incomes per person or in their hands, you know. So that speaks of, you know, in a very macro terms, that the more innovative you are, the more better you would be, and the better life, quality of life, and other you know, things associated with that. So and we have seen that over the years, our global innovation index, as per the parameter, the India has moved 50%, you know, advanced 50%, especially with the this NDA government coming up since 2014. So that is the impetus. We have seen the innovation has been getting ever since, but then more particularly with this new government, Modi's government coming up. So because of the various initiatives, of course, very difficult to, you know, then say that which initiative is impacting, but the whole ecosystem and the policies and the philosophy, like it could be Make in India, it could be, you know, Skill India, it is Startup India, it is Digital India, or infrastructure initiatives, or it is a PLI scheme. So if you look into these plethora of, you know, the schemes and the programs initiated and put up by the central government for the, particularly for the industry. So this has catalyzed the whole ecosystem, and as a result we see our impact also quite visible in terms of global innovation index improvement. So coming to this understanding, then DST as a Department of Science and Technology at the national level, at the central level. So since understanding we had from the innovation survey actually were very revealing, very startling. So we this was a first very large scale kind of a survey which was targeting nearly 2 lakh medium and small, but then the whole population was around 2 lakhs based on annual survey of industries framework, and it was pan India, 26 states, 5 UTs, all were covered, and we found very interesting results or conclusions coming out. One was, though many may be knowing it, but then it was empirically proved through this kind of a survey that there lies a disconnect between our Indian research system or innovation system that comprises of public research laboratories or even the higher learning institutes like IITs or ICERs, which also started coming up. So between them and the industry department. So there was a complete disconnect what we are doing in the research lab, what DRDO does, what CSIR does. Of course, there are ikka dukka, you know, successful examples will always be there. But then by and large, on a larger, if you see, so this was complete disconnect. You know, what we do in the lab doesn't get translated properly and doesn't get taken up by the industry or diffused to the industry for further developing new products or processes. So this luckily for our state present constraint all the time, but then there was a knowledge constraint as well, new technological constraint was there, and even they didn't have the skilled manpower, the internal capacity even to absorb it. So if you don't have all those basic ABC parameters, so obviously the innovation would be of a very low quality or novelty, I would say. When we say low quality or a novelty, it means you are just imitating someone, you know, which is technology or some kind of a product which you see somewhere and then you start and building that and then diffuse it into the market. So that was even introduction of digital platform. You know, it is not a very new thing, but you do it for the first time. Probably you have adopted to that kind of a digital mode, in maybe for marketing, maybe for production processes, and maybe for some other. So that is the state of affairs. Even many of them were innovating just by introducing new machines. So we found that 70% of the industry, those who responded to us out of the 9,000, so they were just doing, you know, by importing some new machines. So you have introduced a because in the new machine there is already a technology inbuilt. So but the R&D may not be done by you, but somebody else. It could be German, it could be Italian, or it could be some lab even, or whatever. So, but then it is not that your system has done and neither your enterprise. Low level equilibrium trap. It means you are trapped in a kind of a low level novelty factor or a low level innovation. Just what you are doing is you are surviving in the market. Somehow you are doing it as a reactionary and not as a proactive mode of innovation. So that is a reactive kind of innovation when there is some pressure or something impulsive happening, when you feel that you won't be able to do and your product will not be able to sell, you do some thinking and then you come out and then you again equalize with your profit or slightly more incremental profits, and then you are happy. So you are not big. How you are able to survive? Because of India is a huge market, so there is a space for everyone, and as a result there is a huge room for complacency. Like you would not like to innovate much because since you are happy, you are getting a permanent some kind of fixed turnover and some kind of fixed profit, and let it go on as long as you can pull the like this. Not and only you will start looking now what I should do. I should introduce some motor which will lift water, or I'm not able to get the water to drink. Earlier I was getting with very little effort. Now you start looking at it, or start going for a new well where the water level is very high, so you can. So these are the efforts one will do when a do or die situation will come. So as long as you are not disturbed, so you will continue. So we found that many of these industries are in this kind of mode. So low cost, low novelty, and all those things were the key characteristics. This innovation survey, many of them no, but then this was a survey which brought to the table empirically and logically and in a very systematic manner, and we benchmark our innovation potentiality with the remaining other emerging economies and the developed world. So this was the very first exercise which opened a Pandora box and a lot of insights. And then in the phase 2, if you see, there were interventions at the state level with the government announcing Make in India and these kind of programs for, of course, then our worry, we were thinking Pradosh and ourselves, and now we have done, then the system needs improvement, but then the government says now you do Make in India, then how to make it successful, So Make in India, we have seen that the situation is very bad, pathetic. We are not talking to each other. The industry is not talking to the labs are not talking properly, and there is no lack of skilled manpower. There is a lack of finance which has to go, and then what not other parameters. And how you have suddenly announced, or you have announced because you are also very progressive, that time new government coming, so they want to also champion it, so they announced. But then can it be built without this kind of edifice of technology, so that was the worry. So we then carved out a very small program that was intervention making STI for Make in India, like what kind of interventions are required for making at the state level or at the regional level to make the Make in India successful. So can science and technology has a critical role to play, and how to see that. So we did this and across many states, and we could identify their systemic constraints which were not revealed during our national survey because that was at an enterprise level, but then the regional level kind of a stuff looking holistically. So we our basic unit of the frame or where we target were district industry centers at the various states. So we did in Punjab, we did in Assam, we did in Sikkim, we did in West Bengal, and we did also in Maharashtra, we did in a few other states, including southern states. But our key finding, which was getting, unified, were that district industry centers were not subserving in a true sense, the cause for developing infrastructure or properly motivating or the industrial development or growth of the regional centers. And then we thought that if they are energized or converted into district innovation from district industry centers to district innovation centers. So that was one of our recommendations with lot of changes. So I don't know how it was taken up, but then this was our that was our key take coming from this kind of an exercise. And then at the same time, at the end of this phase around 2021, we also launched an second national innovation survey, and we took UNIDO's help, and then UNIDO together with the department did this exercise. So the report has just recently come last year, mid last year. So this is that effort. So then third effort since 2022 is at the firm or an enterprise level. So we moved from national level to state level and then to an enterprise level. Now here we started. Now we were after getting a lot of insights at the state level. There are issues of a different kind at the national level when you see the industry as a whole or in the enterprises. So what we were led to our finding that what can trigger innovation, in these enterprises which are lying so low and which are needs to be motivated, where their aspirations need to be put up on a higher ramped up on a higher platform, so that they become start running. So yesterday night we were asking and discussing very casually, and they were saying that there is a need for a hunger. So we try to through this mode we try to build up or the hunger in them, or to make them hungry, so that they realize the worth of their hungerness. Probably they are too satisfied in their low level trap. So how we can make them innovative, and whether there is any culture so far for innovation, or culture itself is impediment, like which is not making you hungry. So it is this kind of culture which is prevalent, maybe various factors. It could be skill set, it could be finances, or it could be shortcomings of new ideas, and then you are confined to your own well, that is small market, and you are happy. So all these things are, but still, if we have to withstand the onslaught of the competition which is now coming up from the global frontiers, then you cannot continue in this state of affairs for much longer. Now you have been there since last 70 years after independence or more than that, but then you may see that it may not last long. So then we need to then pull up our socks. So this is what the innovation circle is, to instigate you, to incite you towards innovation, and to see that during process of triggering innovation, can we build a culture which can sustain you for a longer period, which can make you resilient, and make our future also sustainable, and more sustainable in terms of green. Now we see that there are BRSR reporting standards coming up, and yes, it is doable, it can happen, and if we do right mindset, right understanding, do some right things, so you will come to know your patients will start rewarding, and that reward will come through if you have this kind of a framework which can catalyze the whole momentum for your enterprise, and then at the regional level, state level, and also at the national and the global level. So this can go on. So this is what the whole philosophy is, and in so we have been here. Our catch point is State Chamber of Commerce, basically from where we are, and today we have the Karnataka State Chamber of Commerce here, but then we have done some brainstorming sessions in phase one with State Chamber of Commerce and diverse stakeholders in Delhi, Ludhiana, Guwahati, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar. So all this from there we gain further strength and understanding of what factors are promoting, what are inhibiting, and then what will work, what should be our model. So now we are intrinsically ready with some kind of a conceptual framework. So this is a phase two. Now we have done phase two to validate and try to further deepen it. So So today is the first one for the tier 2 universities. So this is how we are trying to go deeper and trying to understand. Because we've seen in our earlier surveys, as we go deep down in the city, from metros to tier 2 to tier 3, our state level infrastructure and other kind of stuff which can sustain starts declining. So idea was, let us assimilate and see particularly as the from a very ancient time, a very important trading and center and a hub for industries. So we thought that let us see what kind of state of affairs they are. So we will have more interactive sessions as we go along, and we would love to hear from you your kind of stories, insights, and taking further. And with this, I would like to invite our implementing partner here, Dr. Kashi Goswami, to take further this today's event along as per the proceeding here. So thank you for the So here is a bot for